Traumatic brain injury is a serious and debilitating condition, and with violent crimes such as assault on the rise, such injuries are becoming far more common. With a string of one-punch assaults in the media, it's hard not to notice the rise in violent crime in Australia. According to statistics from the Australian Institute of Criminology, the trend in assaults shows a growth of 5% each year from 1995 to 2007. Senior clinical neuropsychologist Dr. Jamie Berry believes that assaults are a major cause of brain injury.
Roughly in about a third of cases of assault, the head or the neck are going to be affected. So head injuries are very common in assaults, and the brain's quite a delicate organ. So it doesn't take very much for a head injury to result in a brain injury. Whenever there is a head injury, the brain is particularly vulnerable because the brain rocks around inside the skull. The inside of the cranium, at the base of the skull, there's quite a few bony ridges. And so what happens is the brain rocks around inside the skull and lots of bruises form in the frontal lobes.
Principal social scientist of the Brain Injury Centre of Australia, Christian King, believes that the rise in violent crimes resulting in brain injury are a result of social circumstances as much as anything else.
Well, it has been rising for the last probably 4 years, and it's not only in Australia, it's in the USA, Canada, the United Kingdom, and in Europe. It's simply a rising phenomenon. And I think it's very much environment, social, psychological. People are just not as happy as they could be or should be. People, when they feel boxed in, locked up, and they're feeling vulnerable, they tend to be sort of relying on alcohol to relieve that psychological pressure, and it all builds up, and it just, at any time they can explode. So that's why you have road rage, that's why you have street violence outside nightclubs. So it's quite serious in that it costs the state a lot of money and the taxpayers a lot of money to keep these people who become vegetative and to maintain them for the rest of their lives.
These injuries can result in permanent disability, ongoing care by family and friends, and loss of employment and future prospects. There are also problems with underdiagnosis, as general practitioners can miss minor brain injuries which develop over time.
Many people have undiagnosed brain injuries in terms of mild brain injuries. So a concussion, when you're knocked unconscious and you're in a bit of a daze for a few seconds, that means that that person has sustained a brain injury. It's of mild severity, and the vast majority of people make a full recovery, but some people don't recover even from mild injuries. So there is definitely a phenomenon of under-reporting of brain injuries in general practice.